In this video, we're going to make a start on this Suzuki APV van. So with this van, there's a few jobs that we need to get done on it, and a lot of it is to do with panel rust. So there's spots where the panels are just going to be completely replaced because of the rust. That's an easier way to do it, and a few other tidy up things. The body is going to be vinyl wrapped, so it'll have business logos on it, so we don't need to worry too much about the quality of the paintwork on it. We just want to get rid of the rust and fix a few things up. Okay, so let's just give you a bit of a walk around to see what the issues are. So on the actual bonnet, there's a rust spot here, so that'll need to be ground down, rust proofed and then refilled. The actual paintwork on it isn't that good. This actually looks kind of like overspray, but I'll have to look at it a bit further. It's going to be vinyl wrapped, so there's probably no point in repainting that whole bonnet. It's just getting rid of all these rust spots on there. This front fender panel, the whole end piece here is completely rusted out. So I've got a replacement panel for that. There's a bit of a rust at the bottom of this A-pillar. So that's all that same panel. Another major issue is with the doors, and it's only the bottom section of the doors. Water has made its way down, but then the actual corner is all rusted out. So that's difficult to repair, cutting out the bit of metal and replacing it. It's very cheap to actually just get a replacement door from the wreckers. So got a replacement door both left and right because it's the same issue on both. This rear left door had a bit of rust on the bottom here. I've fixed up that, so that's okay. There's a bit of rust happening up here, but that is just the very corner, so water's getting in there and it's rusted it out. This vehicle was left in a very salty area, sort of parked right by a beach, and it was pretty much just left for a couple of years not being driven. So we've got the task of now of just fixing it up. Alright, so the rust inside here, it's mainly all surface, and these vehicles is a Suzuki, so it's actually designed in Japan, but it's built in Indonesia. So the quality of the paint isn't that fantastic, and depending on the environment you park it in, that's going to impact the rust and give you problems. So it's not major, it just needs to be cleaned up. There's spots where rust is coming through, and then I'm worried about the bits here in between the panels, what's going on there. So I might have to sort of check from the inside, but cleaning up all that rust, treating it and then repainting it is the plan. And then on this front section too as well, get that done around here. That panel's getting replaced. The one on this side is okay. There's no rust on that fender, and I will actually just take off the whole front bumper as well, just so this panel here can be repainted properly. And then of course some of this needs to be removed, so the air intake, the jack. I'm not removing the radiator. I might have to undo the support bolts. The bottle can just come off. That motor may or may not need to come off. It just depends what I need to do. This whole panel up here will need to come off too. There's a lot of leaves and stuff under there that need to be cleaned out. And then of course the bonnet itself will need fixing up too. Alright, so this is a mid-engine van. So at the front, the engine is not over here. You've just got the radiator and a few things, brake booster fluids and all that sort of stuff. The actual engine is underneath the driver's seat and front passenger seat. And the first thing I need to do is disconnect the battery. So I have to do that from under here. And then I can access the battery right there. Okay, so to get the headlight out, I think the whole thing's just one assembly, so I think I should just be able to get that bolt out. That's just a clip from underneath. Take out this bolt here, and then of course disconnect the wiring and then see if that comes out. So undoing the electrical connectors, they'll just pull out. That's for the main light, high beam. That one is for the park light. That's obviously the indicator. It should just disconnect here, but that was a bit fiddly, so it was just a twist and then the whole thing comes out. But I'll put that back in once the headlight's out. Alright, so making a start at removing the bumper. So you got plastic clips in around the bottom edge here to remove this whole wheel arch trim. Another one there, another one up there, and then this screw needs to come out, and then I'll see if that will just pop out. Alright, so with those clips and that screw removed, this panel just pretty much just comes straight right out. So I'll give that a bit of a clean up, and then we can sort of access and have a look what's under there. A lot of spider webs I'll need to clean up. Rust spot here and up here too. That will need fixing up. Alright, so the next part to remove now, I've removed that panel from the other side. There's a bolt under there. It looks like that spider's still moving. Remove both of them bolts on each side and then we'll see how we go from there. Okay, next I'll remove these bolts from along the front, and then the actual bumper, I think this bumper is sort of clipped into that panel somehow. That goes underneath the bumper, so I've got to figure that out. Alright, so it seems like this panel, just pull on it and it sort of unclips, and if I do the same to the other side now, I think the whole lot will just pop straight off. I'll just do it carefully just in case it's still joint somewhere. No, it seems like it will just come off. It might be stuck somewhere. Alright, that's opened it all up so I can get to it better. The headlight, there is one more bolt here. So you have to take the bumper off to get the whole headlight assembly out. So there's one more bolt there, and I think that might be it. Maybe that one too. So I'll undo them and see if the headlight comes out. Alright, so for headlight removal, you've got to get this plastic piece out as well, and then the headlight will just come out once that bolt was taken out too. Alright, so you want to remove this panel. So there's a bolt here, there was one there, bolt there, couple on top here, not that one, that's for the bonnet support, so those two. Then from inside the door, there's one at the top here and then one at the bottom there, and then once they're off we can get to the hinges for the door, and then that's the next project. Okay, so with all them bolts removed, this panel should just come straight out. It might need a bit of working. There's seam sealer where the bolts that went here and here in, so I might have to do this with two hands. Probably you can get it out. I just don't want to mess things up.